The Dilemma was released back in January. It was a film that I didn't really have a lot of interest in seeing and thought it would be worth a rental. And like most others, I was, of course, right. This is directed by Ron Howard, who's a very well-known director. He's done some good films and some bad films. It stars Vince Vaughn, Kevin James, Winona Ryder, and Jennifer Connelly. This film is under the comedy and drama section, but I think those of us who have seen it would agree that it's more of a drama than a comedy. The comedy is a little bit more subtle and not as in your face as most movies like this are. There's a lot of things going on in the story. We've got two best friends who are business partners trying to make a deal with the car company with their engine, trying to get it to work and trying to get these engines into these classic cars and kind of move away from the smart car type phase. Also, Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Connelly are a couple, but he hasn't popped the question. He's trying to figure out when. Kevin James and his partner Winona Ryder are married and they're having what it looks to be a good time. But there's a lot of things going on behind the curtain. While looking for a place to propose to his potential wife, Vince Vaughn spies his best friend's wife making out with another man, and turns out that she's kind of having an affair. He lets her know that he knows, and she says, you know, you really don't know shit because there's a lot of things going on between us that you don't know about. And there's a lot of kind of backstory to these relationships, a lot of things that we don't know that we have to find out. This film was about 2 hours long, and that surprised me when I found out because I didn't think that they would have to stretch this kind of story out for that long, but they do a fairly decent job. I mean, there were parts that were, you know, more interesting than others, and they could have cut this film down for sure. Ron Howard does a great job directing it. Felt like they could have done some revisions in the script department. The cast does a great job here. Winona Ryder, Kevin James, they all do a great job in the drama department. Like I said, there's subtle comedy, but the performances were actually really good. I didn't really feel like anyone was really phoning it in. I didn't think that anyone was being overly dramatic. Kevin James was, I mean, there's really no comparison in reality, but Kevin James does a lot better job here than he did in Zookeeper, even though they're two completely different films, just saying. And as you might expect, you know, the truth comes out kind of at the oddest time, but the film ends on a kind of a sweet note. The film's ending surprised me. I didn't really find myself being able to predict how it was going to end, so it's not predictable, but in some senses it is, because it's just kind of a formulaic film in the sense of what the idea is, like what the premise is, because we've seen the story being told plenty of times, but this is kind of a different approach, but it's the same basic thing. So overall, The Dilemma is a movie that I would suggest you see if you are interested. It's not something that you need to rush out and rent, but if you are interested and haven't seen it, then, you know, if you want to, of course, when you have 2 hours to kill, then by all means, check it out. I give The Dilemma 3 out of 5 stars.